Hi there, friends. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Haniewich. What I want to do is start off by showing you what is expected here this weekend, and then we'll look ahead as to what could potentially head our way come next week. The weather's crazy right now, and it doesn't look as though it's going to be settling down anytime soon. All right, let's start by talking about what's going to happen here over the next 48 hours. And we're going to start by showing you that we do indeed have a winter weather advisory in effect from 7 a.m. through 7 p.m. on Saturday for these purple shaded counties. This is basically for areas along and to the west of the Blue Ridge Parkway. It includes the New River Valley, the Roanoke Valley, the Allegheny Highlands, and also the southern Shenandoah. Reason National Weather Service issued this winter weather advisory because of the potential for some freezing rain as we go into tomorrow morning into the lunch hour. So I'm thinking we may have about a 3 to 5 hour window for some freezing rain anytime between roughly 8 a.m. and about 1 p.m. We're certainly going to see a little more freezing rain towards the higher terrain, less towards the lower terrain. So the higher you go up in elevation, the more freezing rain you could see. But I'm expecting most everybody to be under a 1/10 of an inch. So this is going to be nothing like what we just dealt with the previous winter storm. We also have a flood watch in effect for the entirety of the weekend, Saturday through Sunday, for these areas shaded in green. Once again, this is mainly for areas along and to the west of the Blue Ridge Parkway. We are going to have not only the chance for flooding because of a saturated ground and also snow melt, but we may also have to keep an eye on the creeks, streams, and rivers. Have already been dealing with some minor flooding around the Dan River at South Boston. We're going to have to keep a close eye, I think, as we go into the weekend on the James River Basin and also the New River Basin. So several things we'll be watching this weekend. The potential for some flooding perhaps in urban areas, areas in and around, say, Roanoke, areas in and around, say, Blacksburg may have the potential for a little bit of flooding, or at the very least some ponding of water on area roadways. And we're going to also have to keep an eye on the area waterways as well. All right, as far as how much rain we're getting, it's about 1 to 2 inches. Some areas may see a little less than that. Some areas may see a little bit more than that. But for the most part, about 1 to 2 inches of rain on the way for us here as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Now, the flood risk is going to be maximized in areas to the west of us. Where you see red and pink, that's where we have a level 3 or level 4 risk for flooding. That does include the Ohio River Valley and also a couple of areas along the Mississippi River Valley, including Memphis, Nashville, Louisville, and Lexington. For us here at home, we're either in yellow or green, an indicator that we're either under a level 1 or a level 2 risk, or a marginal or slight risk for flooding as we go into Saturday. On Sunday, that flood risk may go down just a little bit. Everybody here locally under a marginal risk or a level 1 risk for flooding as we close out the weekend. Now, as far as Sunday is concerned, we may hear a couple of rumbles of thunder as we go into Sunday morning. So don't be surprised to see some lightning or hear some thunder come Sunday morning, as this is a fairly dynamic storm system that's going to be pushing overhead this weekend. I do want to show you the regional view, and you'll notice that we are seeing some snow on the north side of this and some heavier downpours on the south side of this. This is all in association with not one, but rather two pieces of energy that are going to become one, and both are going to impact us here as we go into the weekend, okay? We're looking at waves of energy pushing in. The first wave will likely impact us as we go Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. Then I think we'll get a break for the most part, most of Saturday night, and then very late Saturday night into about the first half to 2/3 of the day on Sunday, we're going to have a second piece of energy pushing overhead. So as we look at Futurecast, you'll notice that tonight we've got really no weather worries. The rest of the evening, rest of the overnight, we're going to be mostly cloudy, but we're going to be for the most part dry. As we go into Saturday, I expect the advent of some precipitation moving in anywhere between about 7 and 9:30 in the morning. I think the mountains may start to see a little bit of freezing rain and or rain between 7 and 8. And then I think the rest of the viewing area will start to see some freezing rain and or rain between about 8 and 10 a.m. And I would say by about noon tomorrow, everybody's getting wet, okay? Whether it's freezing rain or rain, all of us will be dealing with some wet weather, okay? So it does look as though we're going to have, I think, the wettest part of Saturday likely lying between about 9 a.m. and about maybe 4 p.m., okay? I would say by 5 or 6 p.m., a lot of the rain and or embedded freezing rain should be gone. I'm anticipating the best chance for freezing rain lying between about roughly 7 or 8 a.m. through about lunchtime. And then once we get beyond lunchtime, most everybody outside of the higher elevations should have that change over to some plain old rain. You folks, Lynchburg and South Side will probably just see rain. The mountains will start as freezing rain and transition over to plain rain, with again the higher elevations staying freezing rain the longest. Here's that break I was telling you about. Look at tomorrow night. Not a lot going to be happening. I think we're going to be dry at 10 p.m. on Saturday. But then this is the second batch. This is in association with a cold front. This is what's going to push in very, very late Saturday night into about half, maybe 2/3 of the day on Sunday. I would think that we're going to start to dry things out by about 2 or 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And there are some indications that we may actually close out Sunday with some breaks of sunshine. Now, if you don't see much sunshine late Sunday, you certainly will on Monday. Monday looks to be a brighter day for us. Other thing to notice, we could have some wraparound upslope snow showers developing late Sunday night into early Monday. Most of these snow showers will stay in West Virginia, but I can't rule out the possibility for a little bit of spillover every now and again, especially Sunday night, into the higher terrain of the Highlands and or the New River Valley. All right, it is 10:19. I do want to show you current temperatures. We have them right now, mainly in the 20s and 30s. We've got temperatures ranging between 30 and 38 in the NRV, mid to upper 30s across the Roanoke Valley. You're looking at temperatures upper 20s, lower 30s across South Side, Highlands upper 20s and 30s, and in Lynchburg you're in the low to mid 30s right now. And as we go zone by zone for the day on Saturday, temperatures don't look to be much warmer than where they're at right now. The wedges here. We're going to have a southeasterly wind that's going to trap moisture and cold air in place, which means on Saturday we're going to fail to get out of the 30s in many, many of our backyards. Looking at highs in the NRV, about 38. Highlands, about 36. Roanoke Valley, also south side, upper 30s. Lynchburg, about 37. So we're very, very chilly as we go into the day on Saturday. Sunday, we warm up. On Sunday, we're looking at highs in the 50s and 60s. Temperatures may actually go up a bit come Saturday night. Sunday again, warm, 50s and 60s, but look at all the cold air working its way in as we go into early next week. So by the time Sunday rolls around, we're going to have both jet streams in phase to bring colder air into much of the east central United States. Very cold just west of us into Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky. This is the cold air that comes into play early next week. So we go from the 50s and 60s on Sunday down into the 30s and 40s early next week. So very, very cold for much of next week here locally. Now, as far as what we're looking at here into our crystal ball, if you've been paying attention to the weather at all, there's been talk about another storm system heading our way next week that could bring us more in the way of some wintry weather. Yeah, I don't think we're done with the wintry weather just yet, i.e., I don't think we're done with the snow. All right, let's talk about this. This is the American model, and the time frame to watch is roughly from very, very late Tuesday night, just before daybreak, frankly, on Wednesday, through about Wednesday at midnight. Okay, so roughly very, very late Tuesday night into very, very, very early on Thursday. So the day we're watching the most is Wednesday. Okay, so let's talk about the next big thing. This is the American model. The American model certainly brings us some snow as we go into Wednesday morning. Could have a changeover to some sleet and or freezing rain Wednesday afternoon. But you'll notice the heaviest precipitation in the form of rain stays to the south of us. So the GFS model, although it brings us some wintry weather, i.e. some snow and ice, it keeps the heaviest of the precipitation just to the south of us towards the Carolinas. So while the GFS brings us some snow and ice, the numbers are fairly low in comparison to what the European model is bringing us. And the European model is certainly a little more gung-ho about the snow around here. And it would start in around the same time frame as the American model, okay? So the GFS, the American model, and the European model are in fairly good agreement, bringing the vast majority of this precipitation in on Wednesday, okay? The European model, though, throws a lot of snow at us. Not much ice. Okay, notice a lot of blue showing up for many of us, and it's a dark blue, which could mean some heavier snow. So the GFS, while it brings us certainly some snowfall accumulation, the European model brings us a higher accumulation. Okay, So it is too early to get into the specifics as to what exactly is going to happen as we go into the middle of next week. But I can tell you this, when the American model and the European model are both in agreement on bringing us something, then that means likely something is headed our way, okay? Sometimes the GFS brings us nothing and the European model dumps, 23 inches of snow at us. Then you're like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? But this go around, the American model is throwing some wintry weather at us, and the European model is too. It's too early to speculate as to how much. If the GFS is right, we don't see a ton of snow because we see a change over to ice with the heaviest of the precipitation staying south of us, while the European model brings heavy precipitation all over the eastern seaboard, and we would be cold enough for mainly snow. So basically what I'm telling you here is this. Wednesday, we're going to have some wintry weather headed our way most likely. It's just a matter of how much and what type. So please stay tuned to your local weather authority as that time draws near. All right, no weather worries tonight. Clouds roll in. We're quite cold. Lows about 30. For the day tomorrow, we're looking at highs mid to upper 30s. Freezing rain will be possible in the morning, changing to plain rain in the afternoon. With you folks, Lynchburg and Southside, probably just seeing rain. The mountains have the best chance for freezing rain even in the morning, okay? We're cloudy, we're cold. Then as we look at your 7-day forecast, you'll notice that we're going to have another batch of rain pushing in on Sunday. I expect the first half to 2/3 of the day on Sunday to be the wettest part of Sunday. Late Sunday, we dry out and may squeeze out some sunshine. No weather worries on Monday and Tuesday. Those 2 days are dry, mainly sunny Monday, clouds thicken Tuesday. It's Wednesday, potentially even into Thursday, where we're going to be watching for the potential for a winter storm. I'm thinking Wednesday there's a better chance for wintry weather than Thursday, but just in case this thing comes in a little bit later than anticipated, I did pop certainly some precipitation on Thursday as well. But for now, this looks to be mainly a Wednesday event. It's very early Wednesday until very late Wednesday, but right now it looks to be mainly Wednesday. And if everything falls on Wednesday, we'll be able to lower this chance for precipitation on Thursday. Friday, a week from today, looks dry. Notice temperatures next week, only 39 Monday, 41 Tuesday. Then we drop between about 32 and 35 on Wednesday and Thursday. So very, very cold by the middle of next week, and we stay cold even into Friday. So there's a look at what's ahead for us. We told you about the rain and freezing rain headed our way on Saturday. It's mainly just rain on Sunday. We get a break, more sunshine early next week, and then there's that potential for some wintry weather by the middle of next week. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And of course, stay tuned to your local weather authority. We will keep you ahead of the storm. Have a great night.